reporting to you live from the Alamo City, Countdown City 210. Go Roadrunners, we're here. So I'm at work today. Please like and subscribe to my channel, or don't. I want this channel to fail. I'm at work today with my coworkers. Not a very busy day. We're all standing around just kind of talking about stuff. And I decided, all right, today's the day. Let's do this. Is Kevin Durant a top 10 NBA player of all time? Just really quick starting off, if you asked me that, you just came up to me, I'm at work like my coworkers were, and you said, hey, is Kevin Durant a top 10 NBA player of all time? I'm probably just going to tell you yes, just off the top of my head, thinking about what Kevin Durant's done, the awesome scorer he is. Not a great leader, but we're not going to bash on him for that. Just the awesome scorer, all the accomplishments he has, 2 Finals MVPs. He had the MVP. Thank you, Mama. Mama, you're the real MVP. Probably the best MVP moment we've ever had in basketball. That was an awesome, heartfelt moment for KD and his mom. But again, if I asked you, is KD a top 10 player all time? Your gut instinct, at least if you're like me, you're an early 2000s, 2010 basketball fan. That's when you started watching and you saw KD come in and develop. You're probably just going to say yes off the top of your head. And that's totally fair. I'd probably say that myself as well. But when you say a top 10, when you say a top 5, people like to just say yes again. Hey, Kevin Durant, top 10. Yes, he is. And then you have to start counting the guys that are above him that you would have in that top 10 as well. Because a lot of people will say, this guy's my top 10, this guy's my top 5, whatever it is. And then once you start counting the names, their top 10 actually has 11 guys, 12 guys. And they say, okay, this guy, KD, whoever the example is, they actually aren't in my top 10 once I go through the list and once I'm listing off these other players. So go through my quick list here. It's not in order. I'm just going to name 10 players that I think are above Kevin Durant, and we can argue some of them. This is just my personal top 10. Again, not in any order, just players I think should be in the top 10 of all time. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tim Duncan, Shaq, and Kareem. I feel like those 5, comment what you think. I feel like nobody would make an argument that Kevin Durant should be in the top 10 above Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think those 5 guys are solidly in the top 5 and the top 10, and I feel like none of us would really take those guys out. If you feel like Jordan, LeBron, Duncan, Shaq, or Kareem should be beneath Kevin Durant, whoever it is, I'd love to hear your argument. Please comment below and let me know what you think. Moving on, though, so that was the 5, Jordan, LeBron, Duncan, Shaq, Kareem. Then we go Kobe, so that's 6. We go Steph Curry. I feel like Steph Curry has pretty much solidified himself as a top 10 player of all time now. We go Hakeem Olajuwon. You could probably make a little argument there for Kevin Durant over Hakeem if you wanted to. Then I got Magic Johnson. We're about to get into that. My coworker, he kind of thought Magic wasn't top 10, or he thought Kevin Durant should be above Magic in all-time conversation, so we'll definitely get into that here. And then finally, my number 10 was Larry Bird. Again, that's not in any order, just a list of the top 10 guys that I think should be in there. Run it back one more time. We have Hakeem, Steph Curry, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq, Duncan, Larry Bird, Magic, LeBron, and Jordan. Again, that's not a 1 through 10 order, just the 10 guys that I would have in my personal top 10. So I was talking to my coworker at work. Again, like I said, I asked him, is KD top 10? He said, yes, he's in my top 10. And I would probably say the same thing again if somebody asked me that. But his argument was basically saying that Magic should be around 11, or basically that Kevin Durant should be in the top 10 over Magic Johnson. He prefers Kevin Durant over Magic Johnson. I'm going to get into some numbers here, but just off the top of our head, KD, I feel like he's my best scorer of all time. I would say Kevin Durant is the best scorer of all time. Is he the number 1 leading scorer in NBA history? No, that's LeBron. But if you tell me LeBron James is a better scorer than Kevin Durant, I'm just going to tell you you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to basketball. So KD, of course, best scorer of all time, and then Magic Johnson, best passer of all time. Magic Johnson is not the number 1 leader in assists all time for the NBA either. I know Jason Kidd is ahead of him. I know Mark Jackson was another name ahead of him. There's a couple guys ahead of Magic in assists. He's actually 7th all time in assists. I was doing my research for this video, and that really surprised me. I told my coworker, if you're watching this, Zay, I told you Magic is #1 all-time in assists. I told some of my other coworkers that as well, but I was wrong. Magic is actually #7 all-time in assists. So just off the bat, it's so hard to make these comparisons because when I say who's the better player of all time, you have to factor in their counting stats, you have to factor in their achievements as far as MVPs and championships and things like that go, all-star teams they've made, all-NBA teams, first teams, second team and third teams are a thing, but I'm really all about the first team. So there's so many different things you have to argue, and then you get into the eras. The eras are way different, of course, from the 90s to the 2010s, 2020s when Kevin Durant kind of came up there. But kind of taking the eras out of the equation, when I'm doing this comparison, I was asking another one of my coworkers, and once we got to 10, they said, oh, Allen Iverson is my number 10. Another one of my coworkers said Kyrie Irving is my number 10. I wouldn't agree with those players being top 10 of all time, but I feel like my coworkers were more just saying these are my favorite players of all time. And if you have Kyrie or AI in your top 10 favorite players of all time, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you ask me my favorite player of all time, I'll probably have Kobe at #1, but I know he's not the best player ever. So again, it's so hard to do your criteria, the counting stats, their career achievements. A lot of people like to say it's all about championships. If that's the case, Bill Russell is the greatest player of all time. I think we all know that he's not. Or I don't know, maybe he is. I have no footage of Bill Russell playing basketball. I don't know if it even exists, so maybe we just don't know what we're talking about. But again, you have to take into account everything, the counting stats, achievements, things like that. So we'll kind of get right into it and start moving on into their achievements. Kevin Durant has the 2 fraudulent rings. I'm only half kidding there. I feel like KD definitely jumped on the Golden State Warrior bandwagon, and he wouldn't have won those 2 rings, at least not with Golden State, of course, if he didn't go over there. Maybe he does win a ring or 2 in Oklahoma City. I don't know, but he left, and 20, 30 years from now, when someone else is having the same conversation I'm having, they're just going to look back and say KD had 2 rings, Dirk Nowitzki only had 1 ring, so they're going to say, 2 is more than 1, even though we know that Dirk Nowitzki's 2011 ring carries more weight than Kevin Durant's 2 rings he had in Golden State. Just like the bronze ring when he went back to Cleveland and won the ring, that carries more weight than Kevin Durant's 2 rings. But again, that's just us right now. We kind of still have that fresh in our mind. When it's 20, 30 years down the line, just like it was when Magic was playing 30 years ago, 35 years ago now, people are just going to look at KD's 2 rings. They're not going to be hating on him for doing the bandwagon thing or whatever it is. But KD has the 2 rings. Magic has the 5 rings. End of conversation. Magic has more rings. He's the better player. Not actually, but a lot of people like to act like that's how it goes. But there's so much more to it. Moving on, KD has the 2 finals MVPs. Magic has the 3 finals MVPs. 3 is more than 2, of course. I know Kareem won some finals MVPs when he was playing with Magic. I think it's really impressive for Magic to be able to win finals MVP over Kareem, because he did win some over Kareem while Kareem was on the team. But as that Lakers team started to age, or Kareem started to age, Magic Johnson came up and started to kind of take over the ship. And then he was kind of the leading force for those later rings that those Lakers teams had. But Magic has the 1 more finals MVP. I'm not going to sit here and act like that's a gigantic thing, but he does have the 1 more. All-NBA teams, KD's been on 11 All-NBA teams. Magic's been on 10 All-NBA teams. So just 1 more for KD there. Again, 1 more is more, so he does have that 1 extra All-NBA team. As far as the first teams go, Kevin has 6 first-team All-NBAs, where Magic has the 9 All-NBA first teams. So Kevin had 5 other All-NBA appearances where he was on the second team or the third team, where Magic has the 10 total All-NBAs, and 9 of those he was on the first team. It's kind of surprising. I figured Kevin would have more than 6 All-NBA first teams. It's not easy to make the first team, but just with how great Kevin Durant is, I would think he would have more than 6 first teams. So that was kind of surprising to me. With Magic Johnson, he has the 10 All-NBA just appearances, then 9 All-NBA first teams. So when Magic was going to the All NBA, it was really no argument. They're like, that dude's the best point guard in the NBA, and everyone kind of agreed on that. Moving on, KD has the one regular season MVP. I feel like a regular season MVP almost carries more weight than a finals MVP in certain situations. But like I said earlier, he has that one regular season MVP where he's crying, his mom's crying. He says, "Mom, you're the real MVP." Probably one of the, I can't think of a more like heartfelt moment in basketball, or especially at the MVP ceremony. That was just an awesome moment between Kevin Durant and his mom. I can't take anything away from that. But Magic does have the 3 MVPs, so he has 2 more regular season MVPs than Kevin Durant does. So that's a really measurable difference. The 2 more MVPs is a big difference there. Moving on, KD has the 15 All-Star appearances. Magic has the 12 All-Star appearances, so KD does have him on the All-Stars. They both had long careers, and they were both very good going into the tail end of their career, but Kevin Durant still just playing at such a high level. Him, LeBron, it's really incredible how these guys are able to just keep playing into their more advanced age, their later 30s, and still performing at the level these guys are performing. But again, the 15 All-Stars for KD, 12 for Magic, so KD's got him on the All-Stars. KD's a 4-time scoring champion. Magic is a 4-time assist champion. So KD, best at what he does, best scorer in the NBA, probably still is. You might put SGA over him at this point, but KD just all-time great scorer, won those 4 scoring champions. Magic all-time great passer, won the 4 assist champions. What do you call it that? He was a leader in assists 4 times. Kevin was a leader in scoring 4 times. So we'll call that a wash. I'm not looking at Kevin Durant to lead the league in assists. I'm not looking at Magic Johnson to lead the league in scoring. They both know, Magic knows I'm about passing. Kevin Durant knows he's about scoring. And they showed 4 different appearances where they are the best scorer or the best assist man in the NBA in those seasons. Moving on, Kevin Durant is number 8 on the all-time scoring list. He's going to pass, he's about 1,000 points away from sixth place, so he's going to pass Dirk, he's going to pass Wilt Chamberlain to make it into 6th place. I haven't done the math on it, but what, about 30 points a game? If he plays 80 games, 8, 16, 24, he's not going to play 80 games, but he'll pass Dirk and Wilt most likely this season, if not next season, to get up to the sixth place all-time scoring list. So that's really impressive for Kevin Durant. Magic Johnson is 7th on the all-time assist list. That's really surprising. I was telling my coworker again, I told him really confidently, Magic's number 1 all-time leader in assists, just because I believe that. I thought that was true. My coworkers, they agreed with me. They're like, yeah, he is, but that was so surprising for me when I did that research. He's number 7 all-time in assists. I'm pretty sure Jason Kidd's ahead of him. Mark Jackson's another guy ahead of him. And then 5 other guys. So I thought that was really surprising. But again, KD, 8th all-time in scoring. He's 8th at doing what he does best. Magic Johnson, 7th all-time in assists. So he's the 7th best at doing the thing that he does the best. But again, Kevin's going to get to that 6th spot most likely this season. And then I'm pretty sure he gets to 5, 4. I don't know how big the gap is or how long Kevin Durant plans on playing, but he's definitely going to get up to at least number 6 on that all-time scoring list. So going off of the achievements again, Magic has more rings. Magic has 1 more finals MVP. Magic has 2 more regular season MVPs. Kevin Durant has the 1 more All-NBA team, just overall All-NBA teams. Magic Johnson has 3 more All-NBA first team, so he's got him there. KD has 3 more All-Star appearances. KD's a 4-time scoring champ. Magic's a 4-time assist champ, so I'm just going to call that a wash right there. Again, KD's going to finish, he'll make it to 6th all-time on the scoring list this season, where Magic is 7th all-time on the assist list. So everything's pretty comparable and pretty close as far as achievements go. Unless you want to do the rings argument, Magic does have the 3 more rings. Rings are important, but I don't like to make my entire argument just based on rings, because then Bill Russell is the best player of all time. Got nothing but love for Bill Russell, but he's not the greatest player of all time. And then, Magic has the 2 more MVPs, the 3 more first teams, but Kevin Durant has the 3 more All-Star appearances. So as far as achievements go, I would probably give Magic the nod on achievements just because he has the 2 more MVPs, the 3 more rings. Durant does have the 3 more All-Star appearances. Magic has the 1 more Finals MVP, so everything's really close, but with it being so close, we have to go one way or the other, and I will give it to Magic in terms of achievements just because the 3 more rings, 2 more MVPs in the regular season, 3 more All-NBA first teams. Again, it's not some giant blowout, but I will give it to Magic there in terms of just accomplishments throughout his career. And now we just get into some of the raw counting stats, just career averages, because like I said at the beginning of the video, it's not all about how much points or assists you average or how many rebounds. It's not all about how many championships you had. It's not all about how many MVPs, this and that, all-stars. It's about an accumulation of everything together and then kind of deciding which player you think is better. And at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to which player you kind of like better. Unless it came down to like one guy has 0 rings and Jordan has 6 rings, and you want to say, hey, Tracy McGrady's better than Michael Jordan. If you said something like that, I just can't have a real basketball conversation with you. Moving on though, career averages. Kevin Durant averages 27.2 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 4.4 assists for his entire career, where Magic averages 19.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 11 assists for his entire career. Just absolutely stupid. He averages 11 assists for his whole career. If you get 11 assists in one night, I'm like, man, that's a badass game. 11 dimes. He was just dropping dimes like crazy. Magic averages freaking basically 20 and 11, 19.5 points. Let's just give him the 20 and then 11.2 assists. So he's basically giving you 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 11 assists per night. The assists are just dumb. That's so stupid to average 11 assists per game. But on Kevin Durant's side, it's so stupid to average 27 points per game for your entire career. Just here's your jersey, KD. Just go throw it on. Here's the basketball. Just go give me 27 points on 50% shooting. Just stupid as well. What's more impressive? 27 points per game average for your career, or 11 assists per game average for your career, plus the 20 points. Again, KD's 4 assists, so it's just up to you at that point, honestly. I personally think Magic with the 19 points and 11 assists per game is more impressive than KD with the 27 points and the 4 assists per game, but I could see you going Kevin Durant's way, and I would have no problem with that there. It's kind of a preference thing at that point. Now we'll get into the shooting splits. Kevin Durant, 50% shooting from the field for his entire career. Magic Johnson, 52% shooting from the field for his entire career. So KD 50%, Magic shoots 2% better at the 52%. So Magic's a better all-around scorer. It's all about your field goal percentage. Magic is more efficient. He's just a better scorer, is what somebody stupid would say that hasn't watched these guys play. Yes, Magic shoots 2% better from the field. Kevin Durant's at 50% from the field, but Magic shooting 52% off of a bunch of layups and hook shots and post-ups. He will shoot some mid-range. He would shoot the 3 sparingly. Honestly, the 3-point shot, it was like frowned upon back then. Like nobody would really shoot it, or they'd call you names in the back. Magic's 3-point percentage is 30% from 3, so just really atrocious, really bad shooting. If you shoot 30% from 3 in today's NBA, you probably don't even play. You get no minutes in the game, to be honest. Where Kevin Durant's at 39% from 3 for his entire career. So again, just stupid. To average 27 points per game. Again, I said Magic, he has the 19.5 points per game, but again, a bunch of hook shots, a bunch of stuff in the paint. I was watching it was a finals game the other day from 1991, and they shot 14 threes for the entire game, so they're just not shooting them. But, Kevin Durant, just so impressive, 39% from 3, 50% from the field. Yes, Magic shoots 2% better from the field than Durant does, but to score 27 points on just a bunch of isolation, hezzy 3 balls, and just give me the ball in the mid-post, I'm going to shoot my mid-range jumper, just step backs, post-ups down low, mid-range post-ups, coming off of screens, running pick and roll, running pick and pop. There's no way that Kevin Durant can't get you a bucket. He's the most complete scorer of all time, in my opinion. He's a more complete scorer than Michael Jordan, You can say Jordan's a better scorer just with how things were spaced back then, and Jordan averages, I think he's over 30 for his entire career on similar efficiency. So I feel like Kevin Durant's just a better, or the best all-time, all-around scorer we've seen. But you can get into other scorers. I know people will say Jordan's a better scorer. I'm not going to argue with you about that either. And then free throw percentage, KD 88% from the free throw line. Again, just stupid. Magic 85% from the free throw line, which is stupid in its own right. But it's why it's so hard to compare eras. If Magic was in college right now, he'd be shooting threes. He shoots 85% from the free throw line. He shoots 30% from three, but they wouldn't shoot him back then. So I can't think of one guy that shoots. If you have a guy like this, let me know. I don't think this is even real, but I can't think of one guy that shoots 85% from the free throw line and they can't shoot 34, 35% from three. So if Magic was coming up in this era with his free throw shooting, he's a decent shooter. He had a little bit of a mid-range, but he wasn't really looking for that either. But you kind of look at free throw percentage and free throw mechanics, and that's kind of how you can tell whether a guy can develop a three ball. So I feel like Magic would have been able to develop a three-point shot, probably 34, 35%, maybe better. I don't think he would ever be shooting 39% from three like Kevin Durant, but again, his free throw form and his free throw percentage showed you that he probably could develop into being a decent mid-range three-point shooter, but they just did not shoot them at all back in his day. Last stat I would have, 18.7 field goal attempts per game for Kevin Durant, so basically 19 shots a game. Magic at 13.2, so basically 13 shots per game. Magic averaging 19 points per game on his 13 shots. Kevin Durant averaging 27 points per game on his 19 shots. If Magic is shooting 6 more shots a game, do I think he can average 27 points per game? I don't really think that. He's not as good of a scorer as Kevin Durant. No matter what Magic did for his entire career or his life, I don't think he would ever be as good of a scorer as Kevin Durant. But if you took those six more field goal attempts, let's say Magic is shooting 19 shots a game instead of 13 shots a game, do I think his scoring goes up to maybe 24 points a game, 25? I think it does. Do I think he's still at 11 assists per game? I think his assist numbers probably come down if he's taking those extra shots. So, just so many different angles to attack it from. Again, if you have Kevin Durant in your top 10, I'm not mad about that. That's totally a fair take, but he's probably 10 or 11. If you try to tell me KD is just like a lock in the top 10, there's no conversation even to be had. I can't agree with that, but like I was saying before, I asked my coworkers, KD in your top 10? Multiple coworkers told me, yeah, he is. And if it was vice versa and they came up to me and asked, hey, is KD in your top 10 players of all time? I'd probably say yes as well, but then we busted out the sheet, we busted out the pen and paper, and again, we had Jordan, LeBron, Magic, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, Shaq, that's 6, Kobe, Kareem, Steph, and Hakeem Olajuwon. So that's 10 right there. You can argue, to take out, again, we were making the argument to take out Magic. My coworker had that argument. You can make out an argument to maybe take out Hakeem. You can maybe make an argument for, you can't make an argument for Steph. Steph is just solidly locked in above him, I feel like. So you can make an argument, in that 9, 10, 11 range if you want to move around some different guys around there. But the whole point of the video really is, if you have a top 10, make sure you don't have 11 or 12 people in your top 10. Because like I said before, off the rip, someone just asked, is this guy in your top 10, your top 5? And just off a namesake, like with Kevin Durant, I'd probably just say yes. But then once you bust out your pen and paper and start counting the names in your top 10, you kind of see how much closer it is and see where players kind of actually land, because I honestly still don't know if KD is in my top 10 right now. He's either 10 or 11, just depending on the arguments you'd like to make. I feel like it's totally fair to have him right there around that 10 or 11 spot. But please like and subscribe. Please comment below what you think if Kevin Durant is in your top 10. If you'd move out Magic or Kobe. I feel like Kobe would be one of the good arguments to possibly move out of your top 10. And I love Kobe. One of my favorite players. His championships would make it so hard. But And please like and subscribe. Comment below what you think. You just see how tight things get in those top 10 conversations, especially once you start naming off the actual players in your top 10. But we'll see y'all next time, though.